In the category of institutional or commercial architecture, the Acanthus Award goes to Christ Chapel, Duncan G. Stroik, architect. Accepting the award is Duncan Stroik, who is joining us via Zoom.
So I think my favorite detail about the project is the barrel vault, which is made up of 327 5-foot square coffers, and they're supported by arched vaults sitting on huge Doric entablatures in the round. I guess the thing that was most rewarding about this project was working with a university president, Dr. Arn, who had a vision for a perfect college chapel that did everything he could ever want. And I love that challenge because it pushed me to design a building that was a multitasker. And this is a multitasking building that also, I believe, aspires to be beautiful. And that was the great experience, was to work with him and try to fulfill his needs. There's so many people to thank on this project, but I do believe that our contractor did one of the finest new churches in America, Weigand Construction, and the masonry team was spectacular, doing things that have hardly ever been done in probably 60 years in America, and they were led by Donnie and Zach. They saw that this was not just another building, it was a sacred building, and it was built to last for eternity, and so they gave it their best shot. So what were the challenging aspects of the project? The first was to design a church for 1,400 people, but that wouldn't feel too vast for 600. And we did that by creating more of a basilica form with a large nave that seats 600, but side aisles and balconies that add another 600 to the seating. And the second challenge was to do something that was very American and very inspired by the great churches of England, such as St. Paul's in London, or some of the Gibbsian churches, and yet do it on a very simple Midwestern campus. So what was my inspiration behind the project? We were very inspired by John Oxendorf to do a domed portico, domed front porch, and to do it in brick. And so I hired John, and he was my consultant, and we had an amazing structural engineer, LKL out of Toledo, Mark Kennedy, and we all worked together to do this thing, which we've done for thousands of years, but we really haven't done it much in the last 50 years, which is to build a masonry dome again in America. So this 32-foot dome, it's not that huge, is out of brick, has a brick ribs, and has a central kind of keystone, which is where the chandelier comes out of, and it's all exterior. And so, well, why? I thought you didn't want to do a brick dome, Duncan. I thought on the outside it made sense, because here it gets the weather and the cold and the rain and the snow and the pigeons. And so this is a great place to use a tile dome, or in this case, a brick dome. And so I thank MIT and John for pushing me to do that and for helping me do it.